So Trump resumes intelligence, sending intelligence to the Ukrainian officers or military men on the ground to enable them to strike targets by the missile systems that were actually really managed by the United States. The American satellites look for targets that they can hit, like Russian targets, and you basically have technicians on the ground in Ukraine that learn how to, aim it, press the buttons. The Ukrainians themselves don't have this technology, and Trump has resumed their ability to strike. And this is obviously a negotiation tactic to pressure the Russians to accept the peace deal. Now, Russia, as it stands, despite their losses, are actually in a more advantageous position. They're gaining territory. They are going to continue to gain territory. Ukraine has been effectively destroyed as a country, and it's actually more for Ukraine's advantage to negotiate than it is for Russia. Now, Trump has also pressured the Ukraine to negotiate also. So again, these are all pressure tactics to get people to the negotiating table. Putin has also responded saying that he wants to talk to Trump again, that he likes the idea of a ceasefire as long as there is that we're set up for a long-term peace. Now, what he means by that is he wants the evacuation of Ukrainian forces completely from the oblast that, effectively is sort of the Nouveau Rus area, which is the Donbass plus Kherson, and there's another part which I forgot what it was called. By the way, some of that, I think Kherson partly goes over the Dnieper River. So that would give the Russians if they accepted Putin's proposal, that would give the Russians sort of a bridgehead on the other side. And it would actually cut Ukraine completely off because the Dnieper River is navigatable. That's how where they put their produce, and they sail it down through the Black Sea. So they got Crimea, they got the Kerch Strait, which means that the Sea of Azov is not navigatable for the Ukrainians. And if they completely get Kherson, then the Dnieper River is not navigatable to the Black Sea anymore. So that would only leave them with Odessa. That would massively hurt them economically. I believe that Russia's long-term strategy is they want Ukraine to be a puppet state like Belarus. So it's a buffer. It's a country that sort of sides with Russia like Belarus does. And if push came to shove, that they would sort of side with the Russians. The Russians would be able to put their forces through there in case Germany or Poland or France tried to invade Russia that way. That's really, I think, their game plan. They don't want Ukraine to be used against them. Ukraine it depends on the type of missile. Some of the missile systems, you can actually hit Moscow pretty easily from that. Again, depending on what kind of missiles that are, and I believe those missiles have been given to them. I'm not an expert in this area, but I have seen the graphics of this. So they want all NATO weapons out of Ukraine. They want all NATO personnel out of Ukraine. They want to create a situation where they control the Ukrainian economy by grabbing the coastal areas there. And Trump wants to save face as much as possible, so he's using resuming the intelligence as a pressure tactic to try to get Putin to talk, or at least get Putin to respect Trump. So how this plays out, both men are very disagreeable. Putin is very clear about what he wants, and Trump is the one I think is more likely to cave for two reasons. One, it's kind of a stupid situation. It should never have been to begin with. But the second reason is because the United States, from the American standpoint, we don't care. This is thousands of miles away. This is really more of Europe's problem than it is America's. So anyway, link in the description below of the article. This is from Station Gossip. That's my take on it. If I were Trump, I would continue to do as I'm doing. I would use pressure tactics to try to get both of them to the negotiating table. I would make it very clear that I want peace, but I am not a pushover. I am not going to just yield to demands easily. Now, I think Putin is going to do the same thing, and I think Putin's very clear, and I don't think he would accept anything less. I would be prepared to just pull out completely, make a separate deal with Russia, and then just say, okay, Europe, this is your problem now. Of course, to do that, you need two-thirds of a vote from the Senate to for the United States to get out of NATO. So it's a bit complicated. But anyway, I think that would pressure the Ukrainians to sign the peace deal really more than anything. So anyway, link in the description below.